Welcome back to the Pen and Podcast. This is going to be a different episode because literally sitting right to the left of me is...
It's me, Ed Boy. I'm in the flesh this time.
So you're going to see only Pen and Pen in the little thing to the left right there because Eddie is right next in the same room.
I am in person. This is no COVID. Oh, I shouldn't say that. We'll get blocked by the bots. We'll get shadow banned.
First 30 seconds. Great. Now we'll get 5 less views now.
Damn, 0 views. Sad.
We are in the same room and we're here to talk about, since we're in the same room, we've been playing some of these kind of games. We're going to talk about the state of co-op/cooperative games in this the year of 2023.
Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord and Game Savior, 2023. And well, first, how you doing? How we doing today?
Doing pretty good. I am on vacation here, with the pen, and yeah, going well. We're on what day?
I think this is day 3.
Day 3. Yep.
Right, 'cause
7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is day 3 of the vacation. We've been thrifting, found some cool stuff. Got a ring today. Belt. What else?
He's been looking for that belt for a while.
Yeah, the belt has been a flex. I found this really nice red leather jacket in the women's section, but it was a little bit too small, so I couldn't buy it. It was really sad.
He was really happy about it. He's like, dude, this jacket's sick.
It was super nice. It was really old. It was like legit vintage. We got it at this cool store called the Sugar something.
Antique Sugar
In Arizona. Shout out Antique Sugar. They don't have very much men's, but some of the women's stuff might fit you, and that was my case, except it didn't fit. So yeah.
And I didn't realize how expensive like the vintage stores have gotten. We've seen ridiculous prices today for like even t-shirts. They're so-called vintage. I'm gonna bring this example up again. This store called Wang's Vintage. What's it called that? They had a premium section, and swear to you not, there was a shirt. It was a small like just rectangle, and it on the shirt like a graphic, and it was Tony Hawk's Underground, the game, and there was a GameStop logo, like, and $200 for a T-shirt. A Tony Hawk's Underground T-shirt, like, you got it. There's no way. 200.
It was a criminal example.
There's many criminal things there. Like there's like Charlotte Hornets like 90s snapback hat that was like $50.
That was funny. Yeah, there was definitely some crazy shit for sure.
What else? I myself got a Florida Gators like varsity jacket that was fucking sick as fuck. It was like, it has this like swole or some material on the outside, but you probably just heard us take a picture. We have lots of pictures that we're taking.
Yeah,
let's see it. Oh yeah,
hard. We get all the hard photos. I got this little 2005 Canon digital camera that I take pictures on. And speaking of our other vintage thrifty adventures,
you're right.
Your boy found a...
Oh, it's right.
Yeah, a late 1980s original vintage Polaroid Impact for $9.50 at a Goodwill, and it still works, and they still sell film for it. So, found that, been taking photos of that. That's fucking cool as shit.
Tell them how expensive the film is.
It's like $2 for one photo. So like 8 photos is like $16. So it's fucking crazy, but it's still cool though.
He's got to be careful with his photos now.
Yeah, we should take a Polaroid of the podcast recording.
Yeah, he'll be right back. But I'm going to tell you, at the same Wang's place, we found a newer model version of the same camera, the Impulse or Impact or whatever it was, like Impulse AF, which is like autofocus. They were selling that one for $120. They looked us straight in the face and told us $120. But Eddie, Eddie was like, you know what's crazy? I found a camera. I found a similar camera just like that, the Impulse, for $950 at the Goodwill. And they're like, whoa, no way, yeah. We offer this stuff because sometimes people don't want to go thrifting and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, those guys were super excited that I found that.
I don't know if they were just trying to, they were just entertaining that we found like a good deal, or that like
Possible.
they were genuinely excited. But yeah, we got the Polaroid right here.
Yep. And like some
Shit's
shit's
lit.
coming out.
Oh
Okay,
shit,
we're good.
we're good. All right, we're gonna take a photo right here before we get into it. I know, like, I'll put a timestamp on this one because we're going 5 minutes now. We're still got stuff to talk about, so you guys can skip ahead if you'd like. It's might go and be a while. That was not grammarly correct what I just said, but it's could take a while. I know one of our fans in particular, whose name rhymes with Dorito, was like, "You guys need to put timestamps on. Like, I don't want to hear about your like. You take like 10-20 minutes to get into the topic. It's an intro for a reason. We want to communicate and talk with our audience about our day. We're not analysts yet, but we're just normal people just trying to talk about our stuff. Dorito, you know who you are.
All right.
Are we ready to take this photo?
So, okay, the first thing is I'm trying to figure out how the exposure thing works because it keeps taking super dark photos, so we're gonna figure that out first. We should cut. Just
All right.
for a second.
All right, we're gonna make a cut. We're just gonna pause real quick. And we're back. And we're back from taking that Polaroid picture. It's gonna look cool as fuck. We need to get two. We got one on the digital camera and we got one on the Polaroid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, yep, that's been nice. Been advancing my little photography hobby a little bit, and yeah. So hopefully it keeps working for a long period of time because this thing is very old. It's nearly 30 years old. And I said Impact earlier. It's Polaroid Impulse.
That's what I was like, Impulse or Impact? I don't know which one it was.
And we tried to look up how to date it, but the serial number does not entail anything other than a date range of 1988 to 1994. And Zach's mom here said that she thinks it's more closer to the 80s range just because she said she used to have one very similar. So,
Yum.
we're guessing 30 plus years old here. So that's pretty cool.
It must have been well taken care of because, like, batteries, for some reason back then, the film also like comes with the battery. And so they still make those today because, what's old is new now, and Polaroid has got cameras that take the same film, but like it's a newer model, just like how like there's now new record players, which he's also been looking for a record player too.
That is correct. Yeah. But the issue with record players is if you buy a cheap one, then the needle's bad, and the needle will scratch the hell out of your album. So, not really looking to destroy all that stuff because my mom has crates and crates of records in the basement. So, yeah, that's what we're looking for next.
Is on the up and up. You're gonna buy like quote unquote brand new.
Yeah.
I say quote unquote.
Brand
what that's
new.
from?
Oh no.
The Lego movie.
Oh.
I did the Lego movie quotes with the hands.
That's funny. Get it though.
All right. Let's see. Eddie found a camera. The first camera he found at a Goodwill that was it was the Instax one, but something was wrong with the exposure on that, so we took it back.
That one was legitimately super broken. So there was something in which there wasn't enough light entering the lens, so all the photos came out almost completely black. We did get a couple of cool looking ones though, so
That's fresh.
That's
right.
Yeah.
And then we found a tripod also that had one broken piece that Eddie was close to buying, but he's like, I don't know if I can fix it. But I was like, I have a similar camera that can strap onto that, and so we had to go to like Ace Hardware to find like one. What was it called? A nut?
A wing nut and a machine screw.
Yeah, and that's what it took to so the camera didn't flop all over the place, because that was the issue, is that like it would just flop sometimes if you move it the wrong direction.
I attached my little 2005 camera to it, and I almost fucking lost it because it just flopped over, and I thought it was gonna break, so I didn't buy it. I was too worried about it.
So that's what's there. We were handyman the first day, found that camera. Then, no, not the first day. This is the second day.
Yeah.
Got some good Mexican food. It was ponchos on Central. That place is fire. I was
Good.
trying to get the mini chimichangas, but they only serve them on the platter, the Fiesta platter. So
Yeah.
heads up.
Also, they don't card there, so if you're looking to
They don't
get some
got.
alcohol without getting carded, go for Ponchos there. Yeah, they did not card. I even tried to give her my ID, and she's like, no.
It's like,
She's like,
nah,
you're good. I was like, all right, okay,
you're good, man. You're
that's
good.
fine.
All right, and well, before you came here, what games have you been playing? What did you try?
I had tried Prey, which was suggested to me on the last episode, and that did not turn out so well. Even though it's made by Arcane, and I'm like 2 for 4 on Arcane games, or 2 for 3.
Yeah.
So I liked Dishonored and I liked Deathloop, but I did not like Dishonored 2. It ran weird and it was like low FPS, so I didn't like it. So now we went for a fourth try with Prey, and now we're 2 for 4 on Arcane, so starting to go in the opposite direction. Like mostly my issue with it was the probably the combat was kind of weird. Like I don't know, it felt like so you feel like you're so helpless, but it's not in a good way. Like certain games like Alien Isolation, they do that really well where you're like super helpless to the enemy. But in Prey I was like I don't understand like I'm getting all these supplies and all these weapons, but they are like so shit. Like do you want me to play like a stealth role or like whatever? Like it was like the game is not guiding me in any sort of direction, and I know it's like play your own way, but at least in Dishonored, you can play your own way in a way that like makes you successful. Like you can play pacifist or like high stealth, but like the way the move or the way the enemies work, it's like there's no pacifism. You can't be stealthy. Like it's just like weird. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah. What he might be 3 for 5 with Arcane with their next game, Redfall, which is pretty much they described it as like not Left for Dead, but I think they're like it's more Far Cry. But it's
Huh.
like it's
Okay.
it's it's a co-op like vampire shooter,
Okay.
But you're hunting vampires
That
pretty
might be
much.
cool.
Yeah, and like each person has like a different, ability. One is like a sniper and stuff like that. So that's coming out this year, hopefully cross our fingers.
All right.
And we'll definitely check that out on Game Pass day one. I'll have to buy like I'll get like a month just to try it out, see if I like it or not. Then I'll decide because I'm part of the New Year's resolutions for me is like making sure what I want to play. Like I gotta like I have too much stuff, and I'm looking at the thing right now, and Eddie can see my wall of fucking games. I'm like, ah man, I kind of want to get rid of some. You see that middle stack right there for like the PS2 games and stuff.
Yeah.
I had bought a like a I got a garage sale. It's like down the street of like just a bucket full of games, but like rookie mistake number one. I didn't check the quality of the discs, so I was like, yo, all these games look, I could like, oh, blah blah blah. I was like, I was getting ahead of myself. It was like $60 for like 50 or something games, and only
Damn.
like 20 of them were even,
Oh.
yeah. And so like those are the ones that didn't sell because they're fucking scratched up and shit
Damn.
or missing
I
stuff.
don't know how people treat their games so poorly. I've never
It's
understood that.
such a mystery. Like,
It's
what do you
weird.
do, man? I
Yeah.
can understand kids, but like they have outgrown that stuff, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's adults. The adults that got the goop on there and shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, like, yeah, cause like I always grew up like treating my electronics very, very carefully. Like, cause that's what my mom told me to do. It's like it makes it last. And when you just fuck with CDs or discs or movie discs, like you just like you can't use it at a certain point. It's like what a waste of money. Weird.
What a huge fucking waste of money. Exactly. They were expensive back then too, so I don't know what the fuck they were
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Yeah.
Probably ran them from fucking Blockbuster and shit.
Kept them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But let's. Oh, what? We're still not talking about the game. So that was before he came here. But now that he came here, I got him to play some games. Eddie, what stood out to you?
Number one was definitely that card one. I can't remember what it's
Slay
called.
the
Yeah.
Spire.
That game is awesome. Super interesting. It's like a roguelike, so it resets and you play through like a random generation of levels each time. And then it's like card based, so it's like it feels like you're playing Hearthstone, but like you're playing against PvE kind of style combat, and it's like it's very cool. I like it a lot. Gets you to think about like optimal pathways each turn and like what to use and what not to and like what to save. So that's definitely been my favorite. I tried Bloodborne, but I was not in the level. I was a little bit too intoxicated to be playing Bloodborne, or any Souls game for that matter. Um, so yeah, we tried Bloodborne, not in that state. What else?
The Turtles game,
Oh, the Turtles
Shredder's
game. That
Revenge,
one's cool. The little side scroller co-op.
co-op beat 'em up.
Whoa, that
Here we
was
go.
cool. It felt very classic. Like I had played an old Turtles game on one of my Sega consoles when I was very young,
Ooh, I
and
wonder which one it
I
was.
don't know.
Turtles in Time.
I don't remember. But yeah, that was a great one. So that really reminded me of that for sure. But yeah.
What you played Fortnite too?
Oh, I did, dude. Fortnite is something else now. What the fuck happened?
He,
It's like
who you have a guy who hasn't played since like season fucking like
season
five.
4.
Four or
What did we
five.
decide? Yeah, it's like 4 or 5. Whenever Dusty Divot was still there, and it was not overgrown Dusty Divot, it was still like a dirt hole. So yeah, it's been like 4 years since I played Fortnite, almost 5. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely a shock when I played that game when all the new skins and they got like characters from every fucking major franchise ever
Ever.
and like new movement mechanics. Then they finally added no build.
Oh,
Thank God.
thank God. I was like on the edge, like just not playing anymore. Cause like I don't want to deal with the fucking building anymore.
Yeah,
Just want to shoot.
the insane building demons that are like 11 years old that are just fucking crazy. I can't do it.
Yeah, it was dumb, but yeah, he played some Fortnite. You gonna play some Bloodborne more this week? What's the vibe?
I'm definitely playing Until Dawn.
Oh, I tried to
That's what I'm
installed
playing.
installed Until Dawn. I got Callisto Protocol.
Oh yeah, that's
And I
true.
also downloaded Sifu if you wanted to try that.
Yeah, I'll try that
Shout
too.
out Ishan. Thanks for the games, bro.
Thanks. James Brew.
Yeah, I've just been playing Octopath Traveler on my Switch. What I do is playing like Slay the Spire and stuff. And oh, dude, that's sick. We look at the Polaroid right
That's a
now.
great
It's
one.
almost done, right?
We're gonna let it go.
Yeah. All right, and then I was playing Octopath Traveler. I really liked the pixel graphics. It was great. Combat system's awesome. The BP system. People who know that. Then I was also playing Persona 5 Royal sometimes too. That game, the flashiness. I don't think Eddie has seen gameplay of it yet, but
I have not.
oof. I'll show him. Like I streamed for like 4 hours, like to nobody. That's what I do on the PS5 to record footage since my stupid ass didn't think of like just getting longer HDMI cables to record better footage. Yeah, it was 4 hours of that, so I'll use that at some point. Then yeah, that was pretty much it. Slay the Spire. You know, I'm gonna make a bet right now. All right, you can beat like to Act 3 on any of those characters. Like I'll buy the game for you on Xbox.
Whoa! Oh, I didn't know it was on Xbox.
It's on everything. It's on Switch,
Hell yeah!
Xbox, PC.
If I beat Act 3,
Yeah, like here.
holy shit, that's fucking hard.
I think that's beating the game.
Wow, because I almost beat Act 2 yesterday.
Yeah, he almost got like he got like to like where I stopped.
Yeah,
In only his second or third
yeah, it
playthrough.
was like my third run.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
he was good. That game takes a lot of like it's like Souls games. Like
yeah,
you have to keep playing because you get
yeah.
better.
I like how mathematical it is because like my brain works quite quickly in
Hmm.
that kind of context. So that was fun
Yeah, if you beat it, I'll give it to you. Do you want it on PC or do you want it on Xbox?
on Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah,
All right.
I didn't know. I thought it was PlayStation exclusive. That makes me excited
Oh
now.
hell no. They're everywhere. That'd be a good phone game, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it probably would be. Yeah, just like how Hearthstone's on phone too.
True, and that
Yeah,
Turtles game might be on phone too sometime soon. But
yeah.
like, also you have Game Pass with Ishan, and you have like, do you pay for that or who pays for that
We
one?
pay for it in tandem
Okay,
together.
so then there's like the X Cloud things you could do, so you could
Hmm.
technically play it on your phone through
Right.
X Cloud.
Okay.
And since it's like a turn-based thing, it's
Hmm.
not gonna like detriment your experience so much.
Right. Okay.
So boom, there you go.
I got
But that's the our longest intro probably. We're about to hit 20 minutes now,
Damn.
so we'll definitely hit
I
a
feel like we've had longer ones than that.
might have had
Especially in the
longer ones.
in the multi-people episodes, like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, we gotta get more people on.
Yeah, those
Well,
are the longest fuck intros.
all right, so let's get into the topic now at 20 minutes and 12 seconds. We are talking about co-op games and how
Yeah.
the state of co-op games in 2023. Initially, we were like, we're coming in, we're like, yeah, there's not been a lot of co-op games lately. Like, what's the deal with that? And then we did some research beforehand, and we're like, yeah, there's been co-op games.
Yeah.
We just haven't been playing them.
There's hella co-op games, and it's like it was unexpected to me seeing that because when I think about co-op, I think like, oh, the golden age of co-op was like in the 90s and the 2000s, but it has not changed. It's just in a different like style. So like Elden Ring, fucking Cuphead DLC, Destiny 2 is still pretty big. The Turtles game we just talked about, Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, Crusader Kings 3, Total War, Warhammer. Some of these we don't play. Forza
We don't
Horizon
count
5.
Forza.
That's true. Yeah, we decided on that. Kirby. What else we got? Nobody Saves the World, Proteus, and Victoria 3, which is like another strategy type like Crusader King. But these are all co-op games, and then you can even go into FIFA and NBA 2K, and like we were just like kind of
Yeah.
just yeah, it's
So,
not like it's still co-op, but it's not like the traditional form of co-op anymore. It's not really like you sit on a couch and do the four-way split screen or whatever, but like co-op is still very much alive.
yeah, co-op is alive, and it's just that I guess if a game has like online co-op, then that's what people will like go to. Like
Yeah.
there's many local co-op games now, but like when we say co-op, should we say, like, since you brought up the point 2K, like that has its own like different modes where you can play cooperatively, but you can also play PvP.
Right.
And so like, but in that sense, like Borderlands, a well-known co-op game, technically it has PvP elements, very
That's true.
small,
Yeah.
but we consider that co-op game. But do we consider 2K a co-op game?
Yeah.
Because when we talk about co-op, we're talking about like PVE, which stands for player versus enemy. With not the other, like, not, but PvP was player versus player, which is like Call of Duty, Dota 2, fucking League of Legends. I don't know why I said Dota 2, but that just came out out of everything. Yeah, but like strictly like playing against another online, like, living person, that's PvP. We're talking about like PvE games.
Yeah.
Like Destiny 2 has co-op PvE elements, but it's also like a PvEVP sort of game.
Right. Yeah. Because like I don't know. Basically, my definition would mostly be like kind of as simple as you can take it. Like, so you have co-op, so that means cooperate. So if there's any sort of feature in which you primarily cooperate together, even if it's in a PvP context, because like you could say like, okay, well if you take two my players in 2K23 and you go on you play doubles in the park or whatever. I don't know anything about 2K anymore,
Yeah.
but maybe if the park still exists, you play doubles in the park with your two my players. Even though you're playing against somebody else, you and your friend are cooperating against someone else and their friend who are also cooperating. So basically, in my opinion, as long as there is something that allows just general cooperation, whether it's against other people or the AI, that makes it co-op. So that would involve, Minecraft is co-op, 2K is co-op, um, even like some aspects of Mortal Kombat, because you can fight doubles in Mortal Kombat and have you and your friend against someone else and their friend.
Exactly.
So that's like my definition. So basically, every single game falls into it. But what we thought originally when we were making the episode is that, um, the co-op games are dead, like they're not coming out anymore. I think what we were both thinking is like the golden age co-op, like split screen couch co-op, like traditional view of what co-op is.
Halo.
Yeah, Halo, exactly. Or like or even like in a modern context, like Cuphead is like a golden age co-op
Yeah,
style.
like
Like,
it takes two.
yeah,
Like you cannot play that game without another person.
yeah, or like you know, any of the Marios where you're playing two people on a side scroll. But like, so we were kind of thinking like, oh, those games don't exist anymore, so that means co-op's dead, but it's not. It's just a different thing now.
It's it's very much alive, but in like a different sense than what we're like people have been used to in terms of co-op. Like Destiny 2 now. What are some other like online games that like are technically like co-op? Like online co-op games have taken over what it means to be co-op nowadays. Because like the true like start of like an online co-op was Borderlands. I want to say
Right. Yeah, I'd say so.
on
Yeah.
console because there's technically World of Warcraft was like that
Yeah,
was the biggest like co-op game ever. So I
for
guess like
sure.
technically it's always been there, but like on console, it's like a mainstream audience. Because like PC was still small back then, but now like everybody needs a computer now. So like, might as well play some fucking PC games.
Right.
And got World of Warcraft now. Like on the console space, you got Destiny, you got Borderlands, you got It Takes Two, you got like Tiny Tina's, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter, you're literally working together to take down giant monsters.
Yeah.
It's like it's very much alive, and
Yeah.
we just got. I think it's just a matter of like us having the motivation to play those games and like finding the time to play with each other. Now that we're like out of school, like our time is more, preciously like what is it? What am I trying to say? It's
It's
more,
like more strictly allocated.
yeah.
It's to like, you know, you don't like, oh, I'm off class, I get to have like 7 hours to do fucking nothing. Like that doesn't really happen anymore. But
Mm-mm.
like right now, like I'm on break and also like I'm in school for this last semester and then I graduate, but I already know like honestly, like I don't know, maybe for me it's kind of the opposite though, because I feel like if I had a more stable schedule, I'd probably have more time to like do that kind of stuff because like at the moment like okay, I have class Monday and then I have my online classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then everything else just ends up being like a free day and instead of having like structured time like to like relax and play games, it's very unstructured time, so like I'll play games at like random times rather than like when anybody else is on, and then by the time people are on, then I'm like not wanting to play anymore because like I'm tired or like I want to do something else because I've already played games for the day. So
Yeah, it's like when we're speaking of like ourselves like personally, but like the the state of which like we play co-op games is not as high as what we used to because like we were always about like the COD life and like the zombies,
COD life.
the COD life. We were huge COD people. But like now that like it's a little bit gone downhill, we've taken different paths in our lives. We're not at the same place. We're not doing the same thing. We can't talk to each other every day. Things are different, and that's sad. But we go our own ways. That's how life works. But not to get too depressing, but what are some of our favorite co-op games? I'm gonna look at that picture again. We just looked at the picture.
Yeah, it's coming out for sure. Yeah,
That's sick. I like
yeah,
this.
pretty rad. So, um, definitely in terms of my favorites, I would go for Borderlands. Portal 2 has a really good co-op, which you're watching right now, by the way, if you're watching the video.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we'll talk about plans for what we're gonna be adding to the video aspect pretty soon.
Oh shoot.
Whoa. Yeah. So Portal 2, fucking cool. What else? Uh,
Borderlands,
I
obviously.
just yeah, that
Oh,
was my first
oh,
one.
I thought you just said that.
Minecraft is cool. That's a good co-op game.
Minecraft. Let's see what like.
Elden Ring, Dark Souls, those are great co-op. I didn't really take advantage of it that much, but like it's definitely fun. I kind of prefer to play those games like solo because it feels more like natural as to like how it's supposed to be done. So,
Mm-hmm. Like a Left 4 Dead, that kind of thing.
that's right. Yeah.
Wasteland 3, Curtis and I played that. Like,
Oh yeah,
there are
that's right.
games you can play single player, but like also have like a co-op person the whole time. And that's what my friend Curtis and I did. Wasteland 3, amazing, amazing story. Go play it, Game Pass right now. And Exile did a great job with that. I'm trying to look at the games I have now. Like Lego Star Wars, that's co-op. Like, what are some other good ones that like we've played before? Like Call of
Um,
Duty Zombies, that's a great
yeah,
co-op.
I was
Like,
gonna say Destiny 1, because we played that pretty much our entire high school career. That was like a massive one. What else?
trying to Mario's classic.
Yeah,
Mario
classic Mario
Kart.
Kart. I was say that.
Well, Mario Kart, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. You can, because there's like, yeah, you can like cooperate in that. Any of the Wii games, like, there's definitely some like cooperative like party type games like Mario Party and stuff like that where you go on teams. Um, think of some of my other favorite co-op games. Um, I really like Overcooked.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Overcooked's a good one.
yeah, that one's always pretty fun to play. And yeah, I'd say yeah, Borderlands 2 or like Borderlands in general and then Portal 2 are probably my favorite co-ops. Sure.
Yeah, Borderlands, Minecraft. What's some Wasteland 3 most recently. GTA, Online. That
Mhm.
was huge. We love
Yeah,
playing
that's a good
GTA.
one. Yeah, see that one for me is like a big one for like what co-op means to me because it's like a you're trying to make many brains collaborate in a very specific kind of skillful way, which is like really cool to me. Like especially with Destiny raids, like that is
Oh
like
man.
you have to really be in tune with your little your squad. So that's one of my favorite things. So I
What
guess I would include Destiny and into my little setup for favorite co-ops for sure.
what do you think is takes more strategy involved? Like a World of Warcraft raid or like a Destiny raid?
I don't know anything about World of Warcraft, so I heard that they're quite some of the really hard ones are pretty hard in World of Warcraft. I know that, but
People, I don't know how many people like are involved in it, but like I would see some of the videos, like 10 people like at once, just trying to like clicking a lot of buttons, like okay, heal me, heal me, heal me. Oh, support.
yeah, yeah.
Like, oh my god, it takes a lot of coordination.
Because
Like,
I know, yeah, roles in World of Warcraft are quite a bit more important than they are in Destiny. Because like you're not really like sure you have like warlocks or like rezzing and like they have certain jobs and shit like that. Like you might have yeah, there aren't really roles. Like you don't have healers and like tanks and all that shit. Like you have to have roles in World of Warcraft and that would tell me probably right away that the World of Warcraft raids are probably a little bit more complicated.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. So those are some of our ones that we like that we've played before. So now we're gonna talk about like what does it take to make a good co-op game? We already kind of talked about that, like developing, like getting like two to four brains together to solve like a challenge together. To like time is involved, brain power is involved, like being mentally like ready enough to like no, you're wrong, you idiot. It's this way. Like it takes a lot. Like what are some like signs or like things that be so broad, but like what does it take to make a good co-op game?
well, I think intellectualism is probably my most important category. So like if it's not like so basic, you can't like do it on accident. Like if you have to like actually work together, because there's games where say like Diablo, right? Like you
That's a good
can
one.
it's a great co-op game, but like in terms of the intellectual property, it's like you're not really like you can just all hit enemies. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to actively like work together. And what I mean by that is more like in the context of like if one guy dies on your Diablo team, like you don't immediately fail because like the challenge is like stopped. You will fail because like the enemies are like too many. But like if one guy dies in a Destiny raid, you're like physically there's something you can't do. You know what I mean? So like
You have to start over, yeah.
yeah. So like I like when you're highly dependent on each other. It's very like brain focused, like intellectual. Um what else do I like? I like when it's like it gets more challenging the more people you have. Or in Destiny's case, it gets more challenging the less people you have. Because like me and DJ did the Crota raid in Destiny 1 with just two of us. That
Dane.
was fun. But like yeah, stuff like that. So like having different levels of variable challenge based on number of people, highly intellectual, and then like highly dependent on each other. And then like in a more casual context, like with Minecraft, like you can just like have more of a I don't know how to describe it. Like you can have, like somebody like keep the house and like you can like have the other person like go out and mine and like the person that keeps the house like does the farms and like decorates it and like the other person who goes and mines like gets all the shit that they need like to decorate. So you're like dependent on each other in a different way. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, roles play a big part in co-op games
Yeah.
because everybody like most of the time they can't do the same thing. But and like like making a big enough like sandbox is also a good one. Like games like Ark, Minecraft, those are huge sandbox games where you can almost do anything. Definitely in Minecraft you can do anything, but in Ark is more structured. But you can still like hunt dinosaurs, build a base, hunt other people. It's about working together. And so, what else makes a good co-op game is like if like State of Decay 2. That's an example
I
of like
remember.
how that was it was struggled a lot in the beginning because the connection, how the co-op worked was not like ideal. And like if your friends join you and you are the host, they are tethered to you in a certain radius, and that sucks.
Yeah, that was weird. I only played I think the demo for that game. I remember that feature. It was quite strange. It felt like see that's like artificial co-op. Like you're like forced to like work in a certain way. Like that's weird. I don't know.
Mm.
Cuz like that's a free roam game like where you like loot shit, right? I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah, so like why would you not yeah, see that takes away like the Minecraft aspect or like what I was talking about where you could like walk around and like the other person keeps the house and then like you're out gathering or whatever. I don't know.
exactly. So some games don't incorporate it well, but others do it amazingly. Like It Takes Two, where you need a second player to play that game because the puzzles like involve two people. And so, and how the game works is that like there's like a middle line, either horizontally or vertically. I'm not sure, but like you can see what the other person is doing while you're doing your action too, so to make sure like they're not messing up. And so I think that's cool. Like having that feature makes a great co-op game. And that guy, he also did that heist game where he bust out of
Uh
the prison.
oh
A Way
Christ.
Out?
Eh,
No, that's
maybe?
not A Way Out.
No, it's not. What is that called?
No, we're gonna look this up right now.
Yeah. That's a cool game though. Yeah,
Best co-op
that's a
games.
huge co-op game.
Let's see.
Um,
It's by the guy who makes It Takes Two.
I know what you're talking about. It's yeah, it's like the dude who look.
There's a dude who like flipped off the camera at the Game Awards. It is A
Is
Way Out.
it? Oh
Yeah, Way
yeah.
Out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a cool one because I remember seeing how the camera works in that game and like it splits and then when you're next to each other it comes back together on the one screen. I think that's cool.
he is like bringing back like co-op, like a true like the old like co-op games where you
Yeah.
need like two people.
Yeah. That game's sick. I love that.
It Takes Two. He's making another one. It's gonna be so fucking cool. Waiting on that one. Well, talking about like games coming out about co-op, what does the future of this look like? And we pulled it up, and there's some games on here like it's not dying. Like it's very much alive. Like a huge one is Diablo 4.
Yeah, right.
That's huge. That's coming out in June.
Which people are either really scared of or really excited for. Because everyone shit on Diablo 3 because there were a lot of problems. But, like, that was my first one, so I thought it was cool. um, but, a lot of, like, OG fans are terrified because they're afraid it's going to be a total fucking wreck again. And then people like me, who it was their first one, they really liked it, are excited. So, yeah. And then, like, we're looking at, like, Arc 2, which I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
dude, a second arc.
yeah. So,
That's Vin Diesel in it.
that's weird.
They showed the trailer and it was fucking Vin Diesel.
That's very strange. All right. Well, cool. And we talked about Redfall.
Redfall is gonna be a big one. That's a
that
big
sounds-
game for Xbox in
yeah.
general. Like that's gotta hit.
That sounds interesting.
Redfall sounds really fun.
We got another Division title. I will not make a mistake and buy another one of those.
I think this is the Battle Royale one.
Oh, is it really?
Division Heartland is a third-person shooter, and I'm pretty sure it's like how they did the Dark Zone.
Yes.
It's a game pretty much just about the Dark Zone. Well, technically that is co-op, but it's also
Yeah.
PvPvE.
Yeah, right. But I mean, the Division 2, me and Zach both bought it, and like,
Oh man, mistake.
we were like, oh my god, bro, it's gonna be the new Destiny. We're gonna play it all the time, and like, we played it for like a week, and then we never did again.
I know. We were it was the wait for Borderlands 3, and we're like, we gotta keep ourselves busy somehow. So we both like just hit send it on
Yep.
fucking Division 2.
Right.
Did we beat the? We didn't even beat the. Did we beat the story?
No,
Fuck.
definitely not. I think we played for like 6 hours or something, maybe 8. I don't know.
Bad L. Yeah.
Definitely an L.
Another game coming out. We got Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. We're like, you're killing the Justice League, but as a co-op, like as cooperatively. So those challenges involved, like dealing with Superman's like laser beams and his fucking flying, like you're gonna have somebody controlling that probably. Like it looks to be really exciting.
Oh yeah.
That's coming out this year. What else we got? Exoprimal, which is I think just hunting dinosaurs. So it's like not Monster Hunter, but
So
at
Ark.
the same time.
Oh, that's the rip-off one that we talked about.
Of like
It's
Dino
like-
Crisis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, everybody thought it was Dino Crisis, but turned out to be fucking Exoprimal.
Yeah.
Ugh. We got Skull and Bones is on here. It's
What
coming
is
up.
that one?
It's a game that is they took Assassin's Creed 4's ship combat
Uh-huh.
and made that into a game.
Oh, that's it?
It was supposed to come out literally the day of God of War.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, they delayed it,
Yeah,
and so
good.
now but it's been in development for like 10 plus years probably.
10?
Yeah.
Jesus
Do
Christ.
you remember that Black Flag release?
Black Flag came out in 2013 or 14.
It's been stuck in development so
Wow.
long.
So it's made by Ubisoft then.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so it's legitimately the ship combat from
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Okay, well, they're way too late on that. for
Way
sure.
late, yeah.
Wow.
We got
That's embarrassing.
super embarrassing was moving out to, which is like I saw that it was pretty cute. Like it's like you and somebody else help moving furniture.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just moving furniture game.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Like it's probably like something has to do with like ragdoll physics and like trying to fit in
yeah.
fitness stuff. That looks cool. Lightyear Frontier. I saw a trailer for that. It looks pretty cool. It's like you're like I want to say No Man's Sky, how like you're collecting like a beam or whatever, and
Okay.
you're going out and like making a new frontier. Like you're frontiering,
Huh. Okay.
frontier person. Like
That's
it's a
kind of
different
cool.
different planets, and that's another like Minecraft similarity right there.
Yeah.
Dead Island 2, that could potentially be good because
Potentially.
you played the first Dead Island.
Yeah, First Dead Island's like one of my like low key favorite games ever.
That was
but,
co-op?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, shit, I've
Yeah,
never
and it
played
was
it.
like Borderlands style co-op. There's like 4 different characters, and each one has like a special ability and a special like skill set, weapon rarity, and like yeah, that's why that Dead Island 1 is one of my favorites ever. I love that game. I think it's perfect. Like it was heavily criticized because it was really buggy and like kind of weird. Lots of like graphical problems, performance issues, like, but it has like a cult following, because it's like it's so good in spite of its many flaws. And for me, it's one of my favorites. So Dead Island 2, I for years and years I waited for it, and eventually I gave up, stopped trying to wait for it, and now it's here. I love Dying Light, the first one, and I used that as a substitute for my Dead Island 2 craving, and that was cool. And then Dying Light 2 came out, and I fucking hated it because they
Oh
changed the
man,
movement system, and like they just like they turned something that was really fluid and cool into something really awkward and not very good.
big poo poo.
So I'm hoping Dead Island 2 doesn't suck.
Yeah. Minecraft Legends, which I want to say it's like you're like gathering resources, and I want to say Halo Wars esque, or like you're gathering like, resources and like I don't know how that's co-op. Like I thought it was just like by yourself, but I guess you're working together. Oh, because Halo Wars 2 is co-op,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another game, Halo Wars 2, and that was pretty fun. But you have this one too, Minecraft Legends. That comes out 2023. What's some other ones? There's some noticeable ones on here. We all talk about Diablo 4. Apparently, Atomic Heart. That one, it's like a day one Game Pass thing for Xbox. That like the Russian one, Russian like BioShock. I want to say, sort of.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah, apparently that's co-op. That's looking pretty cool. Crash Team Rumble. It's like cooperative. Like, this is technically like PVE, not PVE, but it's like it's a Rumble game.
okay.
It's like Smash,
Sure. Okay.
but like you're on a team. It's like 4v4 pretty much.
Right.
So in that sense, it is co-op. A big splash has been making lately is like the horror like cooperative games.
Okay.
They have like what is it, Dead by Daylight?
Yeah. Right.
That's
That's a great one.
that's a lot of co-op involved,
Yeah, because
even
you have
though
to
it's
work against
the other
the
player,
yeah.
but
It's co-op
it's
PvP.
centrally focused on co-op.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
think that game's
yeah,
really cool.
Friday the 13th, the video game, that was another like Dead by Daylight clone. That was pretty fun. It's I think it's active on PC. Dita loves playing that.
There's a lot of like source engine mods that are co-op horror games that have been around for the last 10 years, and I think that was the influence for a lot of these like I can't remember any specific ones, but a lot of Half-Life 2 mods
Hmm.
that were co-op horror experiences that I remember playing and watching on YouTube for the last, 5 to 10 years. I'd say closer to 10 years now. Yeah, a lot of those things really kind of inspired these games, I would assume. But yeah,
That one. What else we got here? Let me see. Oh, Stalker 2 is apparently one.
I didn't know that was co-op
I didn't know it was co-op
because the
either.
first one is quite solitary.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, because you're like going through like fucking old crusty ass like Chernobyl, like, and you're just alone, and that's kind of
Hmm.
the aesthetic of it. Payday 3, there's a great co-op game. I played Payday 2 and a little bit of 1. That's kind of, similar to the GTA like cooperative heist model. And I think it's Payday got a little oversaturated with its microtransactions and some other little things about it, but it's like at its core it's pretty cool. It's kind of like multiple entry, play your own way, play a different way, replayability style of heist game. So there's like different ways to do it each time. Challenges in which you can do it with like certain themes, like, oh, you're not, you do it without firing a weapon, or you do it without blah blah blah. Um, so like conditional replayability, like making it more challenging. So Payday's a cool one, and now we got Payday 3 coming. So yeah.
All right. So those are some of the future of co-op games, and like at least for 2023, which is a lot more than I initially thought. Because some games are made for like co-op, like Diablo and stuff like that. But I've never thought like Atomic Heart or Stalker 2, like first-person shooters. And that leads us right into the thing. Our next like question, like, does the industry need co-op games still? Yes, because it's been a lot of more multiplayer focused stuff, especially now. Like people are more connected than ever. Then yeah, there's a hunger now for co-op games, and I didn't see it, but like now I'm seeing all these games. Like yeah, it absolutely still does need it. Like we're not in the era of only relying on local co-op. Now we have online, and that's really big. Redfall's gonna be huge. Diablo's gonna be huge, and those are like two mainly like co-op games that are gonna like hopefully for Redfall. I know Diablo 4 is gonna take the world by storm. Even if it's like yeah, like Eddie said, Diablo 3 by fans like wasn't it didn't they didn't do a lot of things they liked.
It was like hated, because it.
Really.
Well, for me, I know for sure because I've done a lot of uh, video essay watching about Diablo 3 particularly, and for the biggest thing, even I noticed that as a first time Diablo player, it was way too easy. You could blast through the whole main story in like a few hours. It was
Oh
so
yeah.
easy. So they literally had to add extra levels of difficulty. It was so easy that they had to add basically like mayhem levels from Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
So it was silly. Like it was so easy, it was stupid. Like you could solo the whole game, final boss, like no challenge at all on the highest difficulty, and it was stupid. So
Diablo 4, they gotta fix some things. Add like they gotta change something with that to make it um less like like walking through the game because there needs to still be some challenge. 'Cause obviously, Diablo 2 had some like was very challenging. You needed to like have a specific loadout. I want to say, never played it, but that's what I think people were saying. Yeah, this industry still does need co-op games. It's very profitable as we see, or at least for like It Takes Two. That was Game of the Year for 2021, and like companies are seeing that now, and we're gonna see the result of that this year and probably in the year next. They are successful enough. That was our next question. Yes, it's It Takes Two, very successful. Diablo 4 is going to be huge. Redfall is going to be one of the biggest Game Pass games of the year. Like, what do you think, Eddie?
yeah, I definitely think they're gonna continue to be successful, and also that they're necessary for the industry. Um, So, like even without like major releases, I think there is a market of more traditional style gamers that are still doing like couch co-op, like especially, playing with your spouse or your partner. That's a huge one. Playing with your friends. I'm sure even young kids like, elementary, middle, high school age are still doing that, especially with the rise in sort of vintageism, I will call it.
Mm-hmm.
Vinyl records, old cameras. Try not to at myself too hard. Vinyl records, out, clothing, thrifting, all that shit. Like it's like I'd call it vintageism, or like retroism. I don't know what you would call it. I'm sure there's a term for it, but
Sure.
our
I'm sure
generation
there
is
is.
sort of employing a resurgence in a passion for old shit, and old shit includes old ways of doing things, which include shit like playing original couch co-op style games, like the Turtles game, for
The
instance,
Turtles game,
is a
Halo.
perfect example of vintageism because one, you're getting the retro style. It's like a carbon copy of like what they used to do in the old days, with a modern twist, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But in its co-op, so the industry will definitely continue to be successful because these games are selling because of this. I'm gonna keep saying vintageism movement, and I think that's a societal little phenomenon that will continue to grow and continue to be a major identifier for our generation.
Exactly. What's old is new, and that still nostalgia sells,
Yes.
and like it sells huge. I mean, we see like arcade cabinets, like the arcade like one up cabinets. They sell so quick because like, oh my gosh, I remember playing that game. I remember. From like South Park. You ever seen like South Park fans out there? The member berries, they're hilarious. But yeah, nostalgia sells, and we keep seeing that. Like with Nintendo's online service, they've brought back NES, SNES, and now N64 games. And there's rumors they're bringing back like Game Boy games now, including in that service, and that's huge. Like nostalgia will sell, and like they get them on the subscription service, and that's how they make the money. So we'll move on to our next one. Has there been a decrease in quality?
um I think, well, okay, so I don't think co-op has specifically gotten worse, but I think certain games have gotten worse.
Mm-hmm.
I think the quality of AAA has just regressed, and that means so here's the hierarchy, and it's kind of like a logic thing. So like logically, if all AAA releases have slightly decreased in quality, I'm talking about EA, Ubisoft, mega corporate publishers that are fucking draining our wallets and taking every cent they can. If all of those games are reducing in quality, co-op games are also included in that. So if you know if A and B are the same and A goes down, that means B is going down, and B being the co-op games.
Yep.
So I don't think co-op games specifically are getting worse, and I don't think they're getting worse at any rate that's quicker than the regular games. But they definitely are subject to the massive corporatisms of the games industry that we're experiencing right now with the general decrease in quality for major publishers. So yeah.
Absolutely. Games have been they've been pumping it out because it's more of a push it out now, fix it later kind of mentality, and
This is the
that's
woke part of the podcast.
oh shit,
Get
it's
woke.
and that's what we've been doing. I mean, literally, Destiny 2, push it out, fix it later, and now it's a huge success. Halo Infinite, push it out now, fix it later. They've added a lot of stuff, and that what's been the cause of that? Fucking Fortnite.
Yep.
They pushed out a game, they kept adding on to it. It's great now. Another example, No Man's Sky. They pushed it out. Now it's great.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2, it was a disaster. Microtransactions out the butthole. Like now it's one of the great games, but it won't get a sequel. I think that's an EA thing.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. There has been a decrease in quality of games, and to that extent, co-op games too, because some of them are co-op games, like No Man's Sky. That's a co-op game, but like it was shit at the beginning. Now it's good. I think people are starting to learn their lesson now. Games are starting to get delayed because they know they don't want to have they don't want their game to be the next Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And that's
right.
huge.
Yep.
That's huge. People do not want that bad PR. Only a company like CD Projekt Red can take that, but
Yeah.
not a smaller company. Like it takes two. They cannot handle like a
No.
big failure
They
like
would
that.
get murdered. Yeah.
So that unless there's like anything else you want to mention about co-op games in general, like the state of it, and like, are you looking forward to co-op games and playing it this coming year?
Yeah, I think, gaming is quite a social experience. Regardless of what major media says, I think it's, been pretty integral to my development as like a social human. I think it's been pretty important for me, and it gave me a lot of friends and a lot of happy memories and experiences throughout my life, and I'm excited to see the world of co-op games and playing games in a social context continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't said it better. Like Redfall, I'm looking forward to playing Redfall and pretty much Diablo, and those are Diablo won't be a Game Pass game, but like I think there's going to be a demo. There already was like an alpha demo, but like I want an actual demo. I want to actually try the game. But Redfall, I'm gonna use Game Pass on that because Arcane apparently. Deathloop was praised, but like I don't know if that's the kind of game for me. And like Eddie was playing Prey, and that wasn't a huge hit for him. So definitely gonna try it with the Game Pass. I mean, that's a great game. It's a great deal in gaming as a Game
Yeah.
Pass. That's what you got.
Yeah. I will further praise Deathloop. I think Deathloop is awesome. I think everyone should play that game. But, um, it's a bit long, and if you don't like it, well, I'm not gonna say. No, I'm not gonna shit on it. It's great.
Yeah,
Play it.
yeah. All right. Totally off topic. Two things. You think you'll beat Act 3 of Slay the Spire? You think you'll beat the deal?
Today?
No, like by the end of the trip.
Yeah. I think I can do it. I'll figure out some OP strategy.
Eddie's got that mind. He's got that chess mind. He just knows.
I got the mindset, bro. I know I'm gonna beat it, so that means I'm going to.
Yeah, we'll shake on it right now. He beats Act 3, beats the game. That's Slay the Spire for him on the Xbox.
Slay the Spire. Hell yeah, play Slay the Spire and play Deathloop. They're both good.
Do you think what, regardless if you beat it or not, like, will you be like playing? So, like, I think it's on Game Pass anyway, but like, will you be playing it
Yes.
like when you get back?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's
because
fun. Yeah.
there's 4 characters to unlock, and then there's like you get further unlocks with those characters, and like it's a whole thing. Like 100% in that game, I think takes like a lot of hours,
Yeah, I bet. It probably would.
180 or I don't know, some amount of hours.
Sounds
And the
crazy.
second thing is like it's been on my mind. Like people have been asking, like, because you're kind of an FPS snob,
A
right?
little bit, yeah. A lot of it, low key, yeah.
I think I already asked you about this, but like Starfield 30 FPS, are you playing? If it is, are you playing it?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Do you
I
think
will.
will you be like disappointed in them like being 30 FPS though if it is?
A little bit because we're like only like 2 years into this console generation. If we're having that much trouble with performance, it's kind of sad.
And they're developing for for two, technically two systems, but like one really pretty much Series X, and it's powerful. There should be, unless it's like the scope is fucking ginormous.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can't do 60
Yeah.
frames.
All I know is that I still played Fallout 4 when it came out, and that game ran like fucking ass.
Dog shit.
So, especially in the city. But what I ended up doing is like I just avoided the city, like the
Yeah.
downtown, because it ran so bad. But most of the time, like the city wasn't that interesting anyway. So, um, yeah. So like yeah, if it runs slow, like there's kind of no excuse. Like we're not that deep. Like think about 360. Like games were running that looked miles better at the end of the 360 generation in 2012. They looked way better than they did when it first came out. And the performance grades were relatively the same.
hmm
So I know that this early in the console generation, we shouldn't be having this many issues with performance.
Yeah. It's gonna get fixed. But that brings us to the end of the episode. How'd you feel about our first in-person podcast
It
episode?
it was great. It was fun. Yeah, it feels more like conversational, which is cool. And then I'll make the special announcement I mentioned earlier about um video video watchers of the podcast. So Spotify, YouTube, literally all of them.
Literally
Yeah.
all of them, yeah.
So all of our platforms that you're listening or watching on. So by the time I get back, number one, I'll be getting a microphone, so I won't be talking out of my Xbox headset anymore. So my voice will be a little bit clearer. And number two, we're going to be adding webcam, face cam for both of us, so you'll get to see our faces and just make it a little bit more personal. I think it would be nicer for you guys to kind of just engage a little bit more with us, and I think that would help because I know it helps me when I watch a podcast. If I'm seeing the faces, it's quite helpful. So, yeah,
Yeah, we're still gonna have like the gameplay element. Maybe we won't if it's too distracting, but I'm gonna try to. I want to see what it looks like. I definitely have like the layout for it. But that brings us to the end. If you're still listening, thank you. But we will see you next time for episode 23. See ya.
bye.